Hey guys, I have an idea for a new type of project. I'm still working on the big old Nintendo theme park behind me, and it'll continue to grow, so stay tuned to the channel for more of that. But as I've been watching these YouTube videos where people are building things out of 3D printed giant Lego bricks, I was like, I want to build something like that. A while back, I printed this 10 times scale Lego Scott figure here, this mega figure, who looks like my minifigure that I always carry around, just big. And so I was like, maybe I need to build something for him. And going right along with my theming of my whole theme park, I thought, what if I build him a Mario Kart to sit in? Now, I really like the new Mario Kart designs that Legos come out with, but the problem is those are not minifigure scale. So even if I blew them up into big bricks, he would look really minute in them because they're made for those, brick-built Mario figures. So I'm going back to my original Mario Kart design that I made for the roller coaster and also for the baby park ride, which is this guy right here. So this is actually very few pieces, and they're mostly simple pieces. Some cheese wedges, some plates, steering wheels. Pretty much everything that's in here I think is fairly easy to print and then make big scale. I've actually made instructions for this cart. Whenever we go to conventions, I have this big poster that we put next to the table with instructions to build your own Mario Kart at home. And those are the instructions I'm going to be using for this. You can see right here, I've got my part list of exactly what I need to build this. So I'm going to have to systematically start printing out the parts. Now, I've done some research online and found several Lego parts up on printables. There's a bunch of them here that I would need. There's a few that I'm concerned about, mainly the wheels, the wheel hubs, and actually the 1x4s with wheel pins on the end. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get that yet. There's also one other big challenge that I'm running into, and that is we've just got a really small printer here. It's not big enough to actually print a 4 studs wide piece in the scale that we were wanting to make for my giant Lego Scott. So I'm going to have to break these pieces down into smaller pieces. Luckily for me, many of you may know, but Nate from the internet has been doing this massive castle in what he calls Bronto bricks. Now those are way bigger than the bricks that I need, but he's actually made available the files for basic bricks and basic plates. So I'm going to get his files and then scale them down to fit my 10 times scale Lego Scott, because Nate's Bronto bricks are way bigger than I would need. I'm also going to have to figure out how to make some of these specialty pieces, but we'll worry about that when we get down the road. Okay, so my first thought is, now that I've got these files, is that I need to get my scale exactly right. So I'm going to start with just a single stud. I'm going to do some testing here to try to get the stud so that it fits inside the bottom of one of Lego Scott's feet, just tight enough that it feels like it's a little bit of a clutch power. Then once I get that scale, I'll continue to print other parts at that scale. My first big goal is to print a 2x4 plate, put it together, and see if Scott can sit on it okay. All right, guys, I spent most of the day printing out this one 2x4 plate in the scale that I think is going to work for Lego Scott to sit on it. As long as we can get Lego Scott here to sit on this size of big bricks, then this is the scale we're going to go with, and I just have to start printing out all of the parts to make a good old Mario Kart for this guy. So this is my first time putting these bricks together. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. But they're supposed to snap together. This is a great design that Nate and his team put together. They have these locks. You slide them together, they're locked together, and they don't come apart, in theory. So this is a scaled down version, so we're gonna see how it goes. Okay guys, I'm gonna just fast forward through here a little bit. Putting this plate together was a little bit tougher than I thought it would be. Sometimes they slid together with a little bit of elbow grease, but eventually I did have to go get a mallet to really knock them together. Nothing broke in the process of putting these together, but it did take a lot of oomph to get the pieces put together to make the plate. Ironically, I am using the mallet that I used to tap real Lego together with to build one Lego plate. All right, let's see how this goes. As for the studs, they screwed in a lot easier. It just takes a little bit of time, so I'm speeding up here. You just kind of have to line it up and twist, and the studs are ready to go. Here it is, a 2x4 plate. Well, I gotta say, it is pretty darn sturdy, and it is pretty darn big. I cannot believe how big this is. It's making me think how crazy big my Mario Kart's going to be for this Lego Scott. But now the true test that we have to worry about is, will he sit on one of these? Fingers crossed, everybody. Well, his front ones are definitely in. Strangely enough, so I can definitely get his two studs in there, but his butt here is not sliding in all the way because of construction. The way that this works is the studs can't go in as far because of the way that this is constructed, which is fine because actually in my design of the actual Lego version of this, I've only used a half tile with two studs just on the feet and a flat tile on the back where the butt goes. So this will actually work perfectly. So with a little bit of elbow grease, I have made a 2x4 plate that is in the right scale for Big Lego Scott to sit on, which means we've got our scale. Now I just got to print a whole bunch of brick. All right, while I'm showing this montage of all the different plates and parts being printed, I'll give you an overview of a lot of the work that I did over weeks of printing. I had to learn some new design software to help me in altering or just making some of these bricks. I started out with Mesh Mixer and then eventually moved on to Blender using YouTube tutorials to teach myself all along the way. I had to put a pin at the end of a 1x4, and so I found a 2x2 plate with a pin at the end model online, and then chopped off the pin and put it on the part I needed and printed it out. After weeks and weeks of printing, I had a big pile of parts that needed to be put together, so I'm going to do that now. So I've actually got a lot of parts here that I have to make into plates, as you can see kind of stacked up in front of me. I've got the individual studs and the individual pieces. So I'm going to do that for a little bit. This box right here actually has some of the ones that I've already built. This is a obviously 2x4 plate that I've already built. The plates have been going relatively smoothly, making those 1x2 plate here in white, one in red, but I've got several to make now. I'm going to do that. I'm going to catch you up on some of the challenges that I'm having and where I am now. But first, let's put these together. Okay, so this is all of the plates and pieces that I have already printed out for building the big version of this that are put together right now. I have got all of my 2x4 plates, my few 1x4 plates, 1x4s with wheel pins we were just talking about. These are all 2x2 plates, minus the studs on this red one, which we're gonna be printing and finished soon. I've also printed the two red 1x1 tiles that I need and the two white ones. I had to do a little bit of editing on the Lego part for these. Once again, the stud size and the stud depth are a little bit different on Nate's than on Lego. So as I'm meshing these user-submitted Lego parts that were created at Lego size and then upscaling them, the tolerance is a little bit different. But I was able to manage to find it so that these can slide down on here nice and snug. So snug that I'm going to hold off on pushing them all the way down until I'm actually building the car big scale. I only need a few more plates and tiles printed out, and then I will have all of the basic parts. All right, I'm going to give you guys just a quick overview of what was the most difficult part of this project, which was the tires and wheels. I did find some wheel hub 3D models online, but they were the wrong size. So I did have to alter them in Blender, teaching myself along the way so that they were the right scale for the parts that I have. Now, eventually I got these to print, but they didn't roll very well. I was having issues with tolerances. I made a couple different prints until I found one that worked okay. I had originally wanted to print wheel hubs in the front that were slightly different and was going to put TPU or rubber tires around those. However, I had such trouble printing the TPU that I decided to bail on the rubber tires for now, as my deadline to get it done for the convention was looming. So I printed PLA tires that would slide right over the wheel hubs. That way I'd still have a completed car to take to the convention. And so finally, after weeks of troubleshooting and learning and building Lego parts piece by piece, I finally had all of the jumbo parts I needed to build my Mario Kart. All right, guys. In front of me are all of the parts I've been printing over the last few weeks to make a Mario Kart for my big fig here. It is actually the morning of a convention here in Orlando, and my Lego room is all a mess right now because my mock that you usually see behind me is actually sitting in the convention center right now, but I wanted to get this big fig Mario Kart done so I could take it to the convention today. So here I am, nestled in this corner of the Lego room next to the coat storage to try to put this thing together for the first time. So I'm using PLA plastic printed big tires for all 4 of my tires. In addition, instead of using the 2x2 brown tile with studs on 2 studs on one side for the seat, I just printed a 1x2 tile here and a 1x2 plate here. That's because I already had those parts designed, and I didn't want to take the time to design another specialty part because I was really running up against time. Obviously, since it's the morning of the convention, I'm getting ready to put this thing together. So the first thing that I need to do is get these wheels onto these tires onto these wheel hubs with some gentle persuasion. Let's do that, then let's put it together. Persuasion. That actually okay, tires are on. I'm not following instructions because I've stared at this thing so much I know how to put it together. So let's try to get it put together. I'm going to start by getting my tires onto the pins here because I typically would put tires on last, but I've already put the tires on that one there and I cannot take them off at this stage because I'm still trying to get some tolerances down for the tires, but I can put these on. All right, let's get her together. Oh, there's the first round of plates. Oh, this is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I don't have room to sit it here right now. I'm gonna have to slide some things around to make room. All right, let's go ahead and build the front bumper now. One of the things that's kind of a disappointment is that these wheels will not spin very well. That was the tolerances that I was talking about. I've got to redesign the wheels, so I'm probably going to do a full redesign of those so that they can actually spin and roll. Not that I have much room to roll at the convention, but I'm really happy with how this bracket piece turned out. I had to design that one in Blender, which I had never even downloaded or used before this project. And thanks to YouTube, I've now become quite a Blender, I won't say expert, novice. It's so weird. In the small version, you don't really notice how high that this gap is, but when everything gets bigger, everything gets bigger. I used 2 of these slopes rather than doing a 2x2 because the part was already designed and actually is one of the best working parts I have. So I stuck with that. So this is my 2x2 or curved slope. Break them in half. But now I'm gonna put the sticker on. It would not be a Mario Kart with the M on the front. It goes here, like that. Steering wheel, that turns. I can steer, I just can't go anywhere because the wheels don't move. All right, that goes there. Oh, here it is, guys. Last but not least, the driver. Get his little feet on the studs. And there it is! This ridiculously large version of my minifigure Mario Kart. This is about the size of a small table, which I might have to bring with me to put it on at the convention. This is crazy. I'm so excited for people to come and see it just because it's such a wild thing to see. I know a lot of people are building these big Lego parts and making things. It's really fun, though you have to learn a lot, which I love learning. So I've learned a lot about some of the 3D modeling software. Thank you so much to all those YouTubers out there who do Blender tutorials, because that has helped me so much on this. This is kind of just phase 1. I'm going to probably keep all the body the same, and I'm probably going to try to switch out the tires if I can, especially trying to get tires that will spin so he can roll. But he's going to be a great display thing at the convention today, which I need to leave for in about 20 minutes. So there he is. See you guys later.